How then would you assess the 9 years of Dr. Manmohan Singh as Prime Minister of India?
Well, he's been a person who has squandered his own reputation, and he's a person who's completely been irresponsible in regard to the nature of things that the country required.
Should he have known better with regard to the two bills you mentioned earlier, NREGA and food security?
Of course. Well, which ass could not have known the consequences of this? So to extend them to even to the districts in which there was labour shortage. Even NC Saxena, a member of the National Advisory Council, wrote, do not do this, at least for the districts in which there is shortage of labour.
Yet he did it.
Yes. क्योंकि जी राहुल गांधी ने कहा है वही बात.
So do you see him as a man who was Prime Minister, knew better, but was hobbled by Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi?
No. I think Sonia Gandhi in this Rahul Gandhi business is just an excuse. He just goes along with everything. And then his core competence has turned out to be to blame other people. 2G, oh, Raja was doing it, I didn't know. Arey, Raja wrote letters to you. Colgate, I was the minister, but I did not know.
And here as an economist, he should have known about NREGA and food security, but he's turned a blind eye.
I can tell you one thing from personal knowledge and from what my good friend Yashwant Sinha told me. Whatever you say about the Indian intelligence system, the Prime Minister of India knows every single thing that is happening anywhere in his government. I can give you dramatic instances of that when Mr. Bajpayee, who was not sort of looking around for things, knew exactly what X or Y was told in a private meeting in Chennai.
In other words, you are suggesting that Dr. Manmohan Singh knowingly, deliberately has been turning a Nelson's eye to what's happening around him.
Absolutely.
Here you're talking not just about the passage of bills that he should have known better about, you're talking about corruption that's been happening under his nose.
And in the case of 2G, I took the papers to him, I had to disclose it unfortunately, because that Asirvatham Achari had brought the papers to me in the first instance.
So you personally took 2G papers
to
Dr.
him,
Manmohan Singh?
And he did nothing. That is why I
For those whose memory is not as good, what did these 2G papers contain? What was it that you were informing him of, and what did he ignore?
This I can rehearse the thing. Raja's APA, the private secretary, let's say, was a person in his office who used to handle all appointments and many other things. So the person called Asirvatham Achari. He had a friend Gopi Krishna, who was the one who was publishing many of the details. But it was in Pioneer, nobody would take notice. Gopi Krishna had worked in the Indian Express, so there is a link. And they said, okay, let's go to Arun Shourie. They brought me the papers. These are the front companies. This is the company belonging to so and so. These are the brokers. This is Shahid Balwa. This is Swan. This is the reality of
all the details they wanted.
Everything was there. I sat with them. They were in a confused state, the papers, because the calling cards of the fellows, because this fellow was managing everything.
So you sat with them and you sorted out the papers?
Sorted out. Then I prepared a note which they went over, and I took these things in the gallery of the Rajya Sabha. I showed them, and I told Dr. Saab,
Dr. Manmohan Singh,
कि डॉक्टर साहब ये देखो ये सारे कागज ने उधर बंदा है, ये बड़ी करप्शन हो रही है, ये फट जाएगी, it will explode.
What did he say? You mean he settled and tidied his turban?
And he always does. Then I said, what can you do? की कर सकते हैं? मैं कहती की कर सकते हैं? Prime Minister of India. Anyhow, तुसी ना कुछ करो. You ask Nair to see me. I'll explain everything to him.
Did Nair ever come?
No. So I went one step further. I said कि नहीं वो हुन बड़ा बड़ा ऑफिसर है. पहले मेरे नाल काम करता सी. मैं उधर कोल जावांगा. तुसी उन्हें सिर्फ ऐना कह दियो that when I ring up, he can give me an appointment. I rang up, nothing happened. I waited for 1 month. Then I went to Ashwini Kumar, who was the director of CBI, whom I knew from previous, he was time in
and handed him the papers.
Gave him the papers. Before anything was there, they started making informal inquiries. And Ashwini told me that आपके आदमी को तो सब कुछ पता है. अरे वो हैंडल कर रहा था, उसको सब कुछ पता है.
But the main point you're making here is that the Prime Minister touched his turban, pleaded helplessness, did not arrange for Kuti Nair to meet you. He didn't take this further at all.
No, forget getting Kuti Nair to meet me. When I rang up Kuti Nair, I was not given an appointment. But the other point is, you don't have to wait for me. Karan, there were fisticuffs, slapping in the Sanchar Bhavan when these licenses, the application forms were being given. So the Prime Minister of India doesn't know.
Let's move beyond the Prime Minister. Clearly, he's a man.
At one point, Raja consistently wrote letters to the Prime Minister, all of which are now in the open in public.
And all of them, as you say, were ignored by the Prime Minister.
I have received your letter, thank you.
So today, just to sum up, Dr. Manmohan Singh stands very low in your estimation.
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
You've lost respect for him.
A good man who's turned out to be a good for nothing man.